Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And boy, wouldn't you know it, on the docket again is Bilt 2.0. After dedicating an entire video to them last Sunday, Bilt Cash now has a whole new list of redemption options. You'll never guess, it sounds like more coupons than anything else, but we'll cover that for a while. We will also touch on Chase, who has some clarifying rules on Sapphire, Reserve, and Preferred bonuses. And of course, the American Express Business Gold Card could be getting some AI perks with a higher annual fee potentially, of course. So if all that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, as I said, we dedicated an entire Sunday show to Bilt 2.0, so if you want to see that, we have it for you. But the gist of it is that Bilt came out this past week with an update to what Bilt Cash. If you remember, the cards earn Bilt Cash, and I'm going to pull up the blog post and just read from that. But the cards themselves earn Bilt points in addition to Bilt Cash. And the great question was, well, what do I do with this Bilt Cash? They had given us some examples, like you could in Bilt's ecosystem, from like fitness classes to Lyft rides. And of course, the big one, it seems it's needed to pay for the mortgage processing fee, rent processing fee. Even though they don't directly come out and say that, that's kind of the takeaway from it. So now we have an entire blog post dedicated to the remainder of what Bilt Cash can be used for, and that's exactly what we're going to reference here. So I've got it on screen for you. You can see this came out on January 21st. I'm taping this on January 24th. So here's what you need to know. We're going to skim through all the marketing hearsay. They basically just recapped what I said, just more elegantly. Starting February 1st, unless otherwise noted, Bilt Cash can be redeemed for over $4,500 in valuable credits per year. And so I assume if you added all these up, they come out to $4,500 a year. So it looks like each category, each thing has a cap of how much you can do on it per year. So dining and groceries, for example, $120 a year towards grocery or restaurant delivery, fulfilled via Grubhub. So it's not really just groceries. You have to go through Grubhub, and it tells you how it works. Redeemed towards restaurant grocery delivery filled by Grubhub, $10 credit each month. Okay, I guess. $60 a year credit for Bilt 15-minute home delivery. That's a $5 credit each month. $100 a year towards GoPuff. $300 a year for restaurant credit at select Bilt dining partners. 25 consistency. Use Bilt Cash towards meals at select Bilt partner restaurants via mobile dining checkout. One visit per month, up to $25, rolling, expanding to thousands. $600 a year towards dining experience bookings. That's like $50 per month credit. Cardholder exclusive benefits. So point accelerator on everyday spend. That's helpful, I guess, if you want more Bilt Cash. Unlock points on housing payments up to 1x. See, that's the one, I think that's the one that's kind of buried. So unlock points on monthly rent or mortgage payments with no transaction fees. Every $30 in Bilt Cash redeemed earns 1,000 points. I don't even know why they buried this down there, because that's the one that everyone wants. And again, this is kind of off topic, but that's why everyone's mad at them, because instead of saying processing fee, they're saying unlock. I don't know why they continue to double and quadruple down on this processing fee thing, but let's keep going. All right, travel and transportation, up to $1,200 hotel credit a year, higher transfer bonuses, $120 Lyft credit, $10 per month, up to $150 towards Black Lane Ride. I don't even know what that is. Blade, that's the helicopter service. You can get $700 a year credit. Home away from home credits, $840 off priority pass, extra guest credits. I guess that could kind of be helpful. $60 towards parking. Redeem $5 per month at participating Bilt neighborhood parking locations. Health and wellness, so you got a fitness class credit, Walgreens credit, and then there's $600 towards comedy experience bookings, Bilt design collection, and more. So there you go. Let me stop this screen record. That's okay, cool, I guess. I mean, that's what we got for the rewards. That processing fee is the thing. I don't know why they keep bearing that down there, because that's the one that everyone's going to want to do, I would say. Overall, to me, I'm not even 100% sure. I assume you're going to earn Bilt Cash, take it, and then like swap it for the credit, or I guess that's how it's going to work. You're going to, hey, I have this much in Bilt Cash, so I can turn it into the credit but I don't think they're not just going to give you these credits. This Bilt Cash can be redeemed for this stuff. Anything except for actual people money, which is probably more helpful, but at some level, as you can't really do statement credits or cash back because it's 4%. If you did that, well, funny enough, then you've created the Smartly card again from US Bank, which is like 4%. Just about everything, since it all earns Bilt Cash as well as points. So, I mean, look, is some of this stuff valuable to people? Yeah, probably. Could they have made it less confusing? Also, probably. It's not as confusing as a processing fee, that's for sure. And it does somehow give people alternatives if they don't want to pay rent or mortgage with the card. I have seen that idea floated of folks saying, I'm going to hold this card and use it for X, Y, and Z and maybe not even bother with the rent and mortgage. Seems sort of silly, but I mean, I suppose you could do it. There's a very small pool of people that is, and the other thing I'll say is, why not just roll this out all at once? Like, you can't tell me that they just scrambled and came up with this. They probably knew this when the card came out. I think it would have been easier and better, more fair to cardholders trying to pick a card if I told them all the options before they picked the card that they were going to get in the 2.0 deal. So I'm not quite sure why they did it this way, rolled it out. I don't care for the credits. I don't know why they're capped. You could have all this Bilt Cash, but I can only use so much in groceries, but maybe I don't want to do fitness classes because, I prefer a real gym. That's going to make someone mad, I'm sure of it. But, anyhow, you get my point. So I'm just not really a fan. I think it helps, but it helps a very small subset of people. Still not a fan. I think the primary use of Bilt Cash is going to be to cover that processing fee to pay rent and mortgage and then transfer out, right? Because I can't imagine someone spending so much money with so low a mortgage or rent payment that they have that much extra Bilt Cash to dump into these other things. I'm going to imagine it's either you want the card to do rent and mortgage and that's what your Bilt Cash goes to, or you want the card for some reason, but you're going to use your Bilt Cash on all these other things. That's my guess. I don't know, but again, you let me know. We've already talked about this for 7 minutes, and I don't even want to talk about it, is the worst part. So let me know what you think about that down below. Does this change your thought on Bilt 2.0? I'm going to say no. Now, something that could change your thought on the House of Diamond is Sapphire rules. We know they refreshed the Sapphire Reserve, gave us some Sapphire business way back when, and the rules were always a little bit questionable on, like, can I have a bonus on this card or that card, pop-up jail? Well, it looks like there's a memo going out to bankers, and this is compliments of the good doctor. I'll put it on screen for you. This is they actually say simplify the eligibility. So beginning January 25th, we are clarifying, that's actually Sunday. So the day you're watching this. Beginning January 25th, we are clarifying our disclosures to make Sapphire or new card member bonuses eligibility rules easier to understand. Clients can earn a bonus on each card one time per card, regardless of whether they currently have an active card. For example, if a client has a preferred card, they can apply for reserve and receive the new account bonus. Some exclusions will still apply in branch, such as if the client has had the product in the past and wants to reopen the same card. So there you go. I put this story after Bilt because, look, you don't have to agree with these rules, but it's very clear. And is also someone who I thought the rules were actually not that unclear last time, except they were using the word may a lot, which I don't love. But they clarified it even better. See, Bilt Rewards just clarify. So it sounds like, you could hold both Sapphire cards, as where in the past you could only have one Sapphire card. Why you'd want to hold both of these, I don't know. But you could do it. You could get a bonus. It also makes it seem like it's now once per lifetime on the Sapphire cards. It used to be every 4 years. They say some exclusions will apply well, that is a weird part. Some exclusions will still apply in branch, such as if a client has had the product in the past. So if I go in branch versus online, it's different. Still a little nebulous there, but that's fine. I think that they might just be telling the banker don't waste the time with the application. So there you go. More clarification on the Sapphire card rules. Supposedly, if you can get past pop-up jail. Now, 2 more stories. Here's what I wanted to talk about on Sunday, but probably only I wanted to talk about it. Bank of America, near and dear to my heart, is in the news for Preferred Rewards getting a refresh. We don't really know how, but we do have, they are sending this out to customers. I didn't check my statement. I grabbed this from Reddit. So if you don't know, again, Bank of America Preferred Rewards, they're like the last true relationship bank, which is give me more of your money and I'll give you better rewards. So they have like 4 or 5 tiers right now. I'm Platinum Honors, which is 100,000 plus with Bank of America. You just dump it in a brokerage account and you have to have a checking account. So I have a checking account, I keep $1 in it. The benefit is it applies to a wide range of products, but again, we care mostly about the credit cards. So I have 3 customized cash cards. Those are the red ones, and that boost the top category to 5.25. Then I have unlimited cash, which boosted to 2.6 back on everything. For me in year 1, it's 3.1% because of the intro offer for it. So there's a crash course in preferred rewards. So what are they talking about doing? Well, here's the giant block of text they sent. Important information on or about May 26, 2026, our Bank of America Preferred Rewards program will become B of A Rewards. Okay. All customers with an open qualifying personal checking account will be eligible for enrollment in B of A Rewards. B of A Rewards will feature the following tiers based on your 3-month combined average. So member tier, which is new, is like 0 to 30K. Preferred Plus is 30K to 100K. Preferred Honors is 100K to $1 million, and Premier is $1 million plus. And that's really all we know. So right now, the tiers, I think it doesn't, it's like gold starts at like 25K, then there's like preferred and like platinum, and then like platinum honors, and then there is a diamond at like $1 million. The one everyone wants is platinum honors because that's the one worth having for the credit card boosts. So we don't really know what they're going to do. I mean, as a Bank of America faithful, I don't know whether to be like concerned or cautiously optimistic. I don't think they're gonna nerf the tiers. Really, I don't, because I mean, you could always do that. But on one hand, if I look at it, and we just take Platinum Honors, which is the tier everyone cares about, that would be preferred honors at this tier, 100K to $1 million. You know, on one hand, yes, I like having extra 5% cards, but everyone else already has 5% cards or some cards that are close to it. Custom Cash, you know, US Bank Cash Plus, Freedom Flex, whether you like them or not, they still have 5% cards. Bank of America has nothing. And kind of the joke about preferred rewards is I got to give you 100 grand just to elevate your products to where they should be credit card wise to compete with everyone else. But you have to put your retirement account somewhere, so like it works, you might as well. So I don't know that they can afford to outright nerf these things, really. Especially, you know, you never want to interrupt your enemy. Was it one of the laws of power? Don't interrupt your enemy while they're making an error. And we've just seen US Bank make a massive error, and we've just seen SoFi, I believe, make a massive error and continue to do so by charging a fee for their SoFi Plus and then sending out a monthly fee to some cardholders as well, which means Bank of America, you're primed to take in new customers, I would imagine. Plus, if given how people are upset about the Robinhood Gold waitlist debacle, how Robinhood Gold doesn't pay out rewards on taxes and insurance and things like that. For me, that was a deciding factor to stick with Bank of America versus go to Robinhood for my catch-all credit card. So I don't know that they're going to nerf that category. They've been doing this for quite some time now, so it's proven sustainable. Now, I also don't think there's going to be a buff to it either. I don't think if you, like, maybe at $1 million, I think maybe they could at least make the annual fee cards free perhaps, but I don't think there's going to be like, at $1 million, you earn 3%. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they might change it around where, you have to use the checking account a little bit. Like right now, I just keep $1 in mine. They might spread it down a little bit. So if you have a checking account, you do certain things. In that 0 to 30K tier, you get something. Because again, as I said, Robinhood Gold is, I think, eventually going to sneak up on these guys. This is going to be a very obvious sneak up and start taking the younger customers. And people with no money eventually end up having money, and I think I'd be concerned about that. So the other thing is we also only care about the credit cards, and they're definitely a big product. They have other things and other products. So I think this might just be a wording change, a tier change, but I really don't know that they're going to drop people in preferred honors down from that 75% boost down to like a 50% boost. I think they also might make this easier to understand. The way they represent the math it works, but it's not really the way people would calculate out bonuses, because it's like you get a 75% boost. And then the amount of people will say, I get 75% boost, and they think their interest rate is going to be like 75% on their savings account. Like, that's not how that works. I also think they should look to add a high yield savings account as well. I think technically there's one on the Merrill side, but I think they should look to add one. So I'm going to be watching this story very closely. I know at least one other person's asked me about this. We may be the only other people on the internet who care strongly about Bank of America, but it's the story I'm the most interested in. And I become insufferable in the stories I'm the most interested in. The good news is I've never been paid to talk about Bank of America, so at least it's genuine. So I don't know if that helps or not. But let's move on to the last story, which is an American Express Business Gold survey. Now, I found this from the good doctor. Again, I'll put it on screen for you. As he noted, there are multiple versions of this going out. So this is the one we found, or he found, and I stole. So we'll run through it really quick here. So you can see the annual fee would be $500 here, which is quite the price hike. But again, we thought that would happen because when you move the platinum up to $900, I mean, it still leaves a big gulf between the two. So it does make sense to move them up from their standpoint. And again, you could even wedge in another card. But what are they going to say here? So there's the intro offer there. That's fine. Everyday business into extraordinary rewards. So 5x on flights and prepaid hotels through Amex Travel. 4 back on 2 categories where your business spends the most. So that's not new. Over $1,500 in value annually. 240 flexible business credit, $20 monthly purchases at UPS, Grubhub, and office supply stores. I'm getting not terrible for an actual business. $155 Walmart Plus membership credit, not terrible. I don't know if a lot of businesses, I guess I could see if you're stocking an office maybe. Business growth, $300 Chat GPT credit. They call it AI tool. $350 LegalZoom, $240 Zero credit. I thought it said Xerox eventually. I don't know what that is. Accounting software. It's problem is when these things are blurry. $250 Notion credit, workspace for notes and tasks and projects. $150 Squarespace. And of course, how would you eat without the $100 Resi credit? We don't want you to starve to death. Now, here's an interesting one. Earn up to 50,000 membership reward points. Earn a 1x per dollar paid when you pay your business gold bill from your Amex business checking account up to 50,000 points. I like that. That's actually not a terrible addition. That's honestly one of the best things they've added in forever. Convert 10,000 membership reward points into $80 in deposits in Amex business. I mean, well, again, right back there, awful again, because there's that 20% haircut. But I think that's actually better because normally the platinum got to do that, so the platinum, my business platinum was a 1-to-1, I think. So they're boosting this one up a little bit. But for $500, you can give me a 1-to-1, especially when businesses would want cash back. And then choose your card: gold, rose gold, or white. Unlock a 24-karat gold-plated card after you spend $100,000 in the calendar year. Now they're just copying Robinhood, like Jesus. Okay. I don't know. What do you want me to say? It's a survey. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, eventually it's going to happen. They're going to hike the annual fee and add some more credits to it for sure. The thing about it is the complaints on these cards are large. We're done complaining, right? Because at this point we know what the cards are. We know what the product is. And I will say, if nothing else, these credits are usable for an actual business, which is their target. I would like to see flexibility, like maybe you don't use LegalZoom, or maybe you don't use Notion, but maybe you use what's the other one? There's Teams, and then there's you know what I'm talking about. There's other workspace, Slack, for example. I'd like to see some flexibility in that. I don't think that's a unreasonable problem. Obviously, they're partnering with a vendor to provide the credit, but in other credits they have provided some flexibility. And so for an actual business, yeah, maybe. For the actual person, no, I don't think there's going to be too much here. I mean, regular people might use ChatGPT. I haven't used the paid services at all. I just don't like paying for things, but, not terrible. I do like the paying your bill earns points. I think that's a nice touch. I really just think they need to fix this cashing out thing at $500. And given businesses, I would imagine, would like to pay in statement credits and things like that. Not every business travels, so I don't know why they insist on doing such a bad redemption there. But overall, that could be your new look business gold. And lastly, I can't wait for the YouTuber who's going to get the 24 karat gold plated card, which is such a weird thing to do. Everyone's ripping everyone off, which is fine. I mean, we do that here. I mean, half these stories found from the Doctor of Credit, but it's funny to see Amex like, oh, they have a literal gold card. Well, let's just do that. The kids seem to really respond to that, And then Bilt Rewards ripping off the coupon book and everything. It's interesting. So anyhow, we've been at this for 20 minutes now. I'll turn it over to you in the description or in the comments section down below. Sound off on Bilt 2.0. Let me know about this gold card or my Bank of America faithful people. Let me know. Should we be concerned or optimistic? I really don't know. And I don't want to wait to May to find out, but I guess we're going to have to. So anyways, guys, that's been the news. So, of course, if you like this, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And, of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com. which is, of course, the channel's blog. Always linked down below for you, as well as on the channel homepage with the latest news stories just like this, plenty of bank promotions, and, of course, credit card offers. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.